All right, guys. Week 3 power rankings. About to start getting into the thick of the season. A lot of bad teams, a lot of good teams. Pretty bad week overall. A lot of bad play and mediocre play. I don't know what was up with that. That's the way it was in my other league too, though. This is just the nature of the beast. But nonetheless, start off with number 12. Could have gone a couple different ways with this, and I chose one. Rye, I'm putting you number 12. Lack of management. You had 22 points sitting on your bench with your defense. You didn't play them. You fucked up. Man, I've been sending you trades. They just sit there for 2 days. They expire. It's lack of interest is not going to get you a win. I don't feel bad for you that you don't have one because of that. I love you. But if I send you a trade, if you're looking at it, at least call me up, call me a pussy, call me a cheap fuck, tell me I'm a low baller. But don't just let it sit there. Need activity. It's good for the league. So, step it up. Number 11. This is more along the same lines. He's really not number 11, but Bob, I'm putting your 11th. You sat your kicker. You're kind of flaky about picking people up, and you still have Michael Turner on your bench. Got to pick up the interest. I know you're better than the 11th spot, but as the commissioner, dropping the hammer on you. So, number 10. Settling. Kept you out of the basement. I know how bad you feel right now. Under 200 points in the year. It's the way you drafted, you knew this might happen. You knew you were either going to be great or you're going to be really bad. It looks like so far you're really bad. But I didn't put you last because I know you're trying to make moves. You're on the waiver wire every week. You're texting me trades every 5 seconds. Appreciate it. I know you're going to get some wins. And you'll be moving up the ladder a little bit. Still got a shot at the playoffs. Probably going to beat me too. I don't feel too good about my team this week. So, number 10. Bean. Bean's interest is at an all-time high this year, I have to say. And he's got an alright team. He's getting hammered by injuries with Amendola, Roddy White. Matt Ryan hasn't been too great. RG3 has been a bum. So he really hasn't had anybody he can move him for. But he's been picking guys up, plugging in some running backs, kind of hovering in the 80s. Got to win. So we'll see on Bean. Hopefully his team can get healthy and keep climbing that ladder. Oh, text message from Jim. Probably a trade. We'll talk about that later. All right, number 9, Mike Brown. Oof. Mike, let me open up your team here. And you're 2-1. I think you've played a pretty soft schedule so far. And Brady finally gave you a decent week last week. Ridley still sucks. You were fortunate to have Bernard Pierce with Ray Rice going down. Good handcuff there. I know you're playing Kimbrel Tompkins. He could be a good pickup if he starts doing what he did last week. You got a pretty good receiver core. Andre Johnson going down, but kind of hurting at running back with Steve Ridley being pretty much useless. So I think your year is going to rely on him, whether he gets back to where he was last year or not. But I got you at number 9. And at number 8, I got yo daddy, Greg. All right, yeah, bud. Greg's 1-2. We got a win. May have struck gold with Michael Vick. Kind of still the same old Vick, but he's putting up fantasy points. Second best quarterback ranking. Darren McFadden, I think, threw a touchdown the other day. And he ain't going to be running them in, that's for sure. So if he's going to start throwing them, it's good for you. Still got Calvin, Tony Gonzalez. You got Gronk coming back. That 49ers defense isn't doing it for you, though. I know you put a lot of stock into your D. Hopefully they can pick it up. Turn back the clock to last year. Yeah, he's got an okay team. Not great, but he looks like he's going to hang around, be in some games, and hopefully pull off some upsets. Pulling for you, Greg. Number 7, Jeremy Geary. Jeremy got another win this week. I think he's 2-1. Sandy Hook. Where are you? Didn't play Russell Wilson this week. Went with Alex Smith. Kind of a misplay there, but looking at the matchups, it probably was the right play. Could benefit from the Trent Richardson trade. Ray Rice is down. I hope he's not out. I love that guy. You're going to need him. The receivers are a little iffy, but Jimmy Graham is an absolute monster. So I think you're going to be a tough opponent every week if you get those running backs going. Until then, 7. Number 6. Oh, wait. No, Jeremy was 6. Number 5. Johnny Wool. John, the only reason I got you this high, you're 2-1. You got AP and Aaron Rodgers, but you are hurting elsewhere. Monty Ball, that Denver running back situation is very unpredictable. Eddie Lacy going down with the head injury. DeAndre Hopkins, Miles Austin, Kenny Britt, pretty much dead. Steve Smith hasn't done much this year. Deshaun Jackson's been all right. But, yeah, hopefully that two-headed monster can keep you afloat. They certainly have the chance to. I know Deshaun Jackson's been very good, too. He just had a bad week last week. So you kind of a top-heavy team. So if those 3 guys can produce, they'll keep you in games and hopefully fill the spots elsewhere. Number 4, Mr. Fantasy, Mr. Daddy, Jerome. I know he's 1-2, but he's still a force to be reckoned with. And Matt Stafford roller coaster, man, he looks bad on TV, but I look at his score every week and it's above 20. Arian Foster's been kind of a dud for you, but I'm sure that won't last. You got that threesome of Foster, Morris, and Forte, which is pretty rock solid. Your receivers suck, though. I keep trying to tell you that. It's a passing league, guys, in case you didn't know that. You need receivers, too. Hopefully you don't, but you probably get Larry Fitz back. Maybe he can start doing some stuff for you. But you'll be there in the end. I know you will, Jerome. Number 3, Screak the Freak. Beast Mode Chaugs. I like the team name, too. Your Wubby, Peyton Manning. Unstoppable, apparently. Yeah, the Manning-Welker combination has really done well for you. Even Bradshaw got you 16 points last week. Everyone's clamoring for Trent, but Bradshaw had another weekend. We'll see if you can keep that up. Still get some carries. Marshawn Lynch is having a good year. Had a down week last week. So you got a solid team. Reggie Wayne, Jason Witten. Still plugging Edelman in there, it looks like. But I don't know about your bench. Your bench kind of sucks. But you got a pretty good team. Skriko. You always seem to be there in the end. Every year you're in the playoffs, usually in the top 4. So I wouldn't doubt that you'll be there again. Love you. Number 2. I was going to put myself, but since it's Ben, I'm putting Ben number 2. Javid's Dream. Obviously, Ben's got a pretty damn good team. Drew Brees, my boy, killing it last week, 31. That's the Drew Brees you're going to see probably every week. You got your running backs. Gio's coming through for you. So you got your 3 running backs using Gio and your flex. Your receivers haven't really come through for you this year, and you haven't really been able to figure out the whole kicker defense thing. I know it sounds like Greg Brown, but it does matter when you're getting -2 and 1 from your kicker, your defense. So I know you'll be there in the end, Ben, but I had to be selfish and put myself ahead of you. 3-0. I haven't been under 100 yet, so put myself at number 1. Cam Newton had his first good week last week. Hopefully he can get some Momo, start rolling that into the next few weeks, even though he's off this week, which I'm worried about. I understand I'm a little thin at running back. Reggie Bush was out last week, but I still managed to win. Chris Johnson steadily coming close to 100 yards every week. Hasn't touched the end zone yet. Hoping he's going to break out soon. I got a pretty stocked receiver core with Green, Garcon, Brown, Harvin coming back. Josh Gordon had a sick week last week. Antonio Brown had 31, and I didn't even see it. So that's an option for me too. Still got my boy Randall Cobb. You guys want to make some trades? I got receivers for days. And I think the biggest thing I was able to get this year is Jordan Cameron. Got lucky on the waiver wire. He's an absolute stud under Jimmy Graham and Gronk. He's probably the next best tight end. So that's the power rankings for the week. And as Greg Brown would say, out.